going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode here at F-Line Garage, where we are going to be working on the LR4 Part 4. What's today, you ask? Well, today we are going to be taking out the injectors with my fancy new slide hammer. This is imperative to getting those injectors out. They like to stick, and just the place they're in, that tool is almost a necessity. You can get it at Atlantic British for an arm and a leg, or you can get it off Amazon for a couple bucks. So I went with the Amazon route. Let's see if I regret it or if it's going to do the job. I got good enough reviews, so I'll put the link below, and then at the end of this video I'll tell you if it was worth it or not. But I have to take out the injectors because that's how you take the valve covers off to get to the timing cover, so I can see how much out of alignment I can get, how much out of alignment I am. So down here I have all the spark plugs out and the coil packs. I now have to remove some of the fuel lines that go to the injectors, and then you just use a slide hammer and pull them out. Easy peasy, right? How hard can it be? Well, let's find out and let's get to work. All right, so we're on the driver's side right now, and you can see here, this is where the spark plug went, and the coil pack went on top and got screwed down into there. Here's an injector. There's gonna be 4 on each side, obviously, because it's a V8. So I need to remove a little bit of this so that I can slide them out. These are 10 millimeter. I'm gonna remove those, and then everything should come out with it. So I have never done this before. I am just gonna take it out systematically, and then I'll probably put those injectors in the corresponding cylinder as I take it off. So I'm just gonna loosen up all the 10 millimeters here. Maybe undo this so I can get to something else. Maybe loosen these up. I'm gonna look at this, try to figure it out, and then I'll show you. So I'm working on this. I was easily able to get the 10 millimeter bolts out that are holding the fuel rail onto the injectors down here. That was no problem. The instructions, or the way people mostly do this, is by removing all the coolant stuff first, then doing all this. What I'm trying to do is remove as little as possible to see how far off this timing is. If we're off a couple teeth, fine. If we're off like 45%, you know, a big number, yeah, I'm gonna reconsider a lot here. But let me show you what I'm up against. Where the fuel rail comes in, we have this wire loom thing that goes along the back. These little clips here, can you see it? I just took a screwdriver, push down on it, and you're able to release the pressure. But it all comes out here, and like this goes back here, this goes to the throttle body, this went to, looks like a cam position sensor, this went to the other cam position sensor down there, and then I got a few more. I also have a ground, you probably can't see too well, that's sitting right in there, okay? This would be a lot easier if all this coolant, here's the thermostat, everything. If all this was removed, maybe I should start over here, but this is the side that's giving me all the misfires. So I really wanted to look at this, and I may just start removing some of this. The water pump sitting back here, it all has to come out anyway, and I guess if I'm gonna replace the motor or part this thing out, it's gonna come out anyway. So yeah, I'm just talking out loud, but just wanted to say that I'm struggling to get some of these wire looms out. It is possible, guys, just it's a lot more work, but this is what I'm up against, and just wanted to show you the progress. Screw it, I'm taking off the thermostat, but I saw something else. Let me show you. I'm taking this piece off here because that's where these bolts are, and this is in essence where I want to be working. But remember how I kept saying I kept smelling antifreeze? Go check out these videos up here, okay? But I don't know if you can see down there, right there. It won't focus too well, but where the light is, there's antifreeze down there. Why it's there, I don't know. How it got there, I don't know. But it looks like the intake now is going to be coming off the intake manifold. So this may be a catastrophic failure, not sure, but I'm going to keep working on this, and looks like that's coming off too. Right now I am pivoting. I am going to start taking this off, then this. I think a lot more has to come off than I want, but what I see here is lots and lots of like debris and leaves, and I even think back there, can you see it? Looks like a rat's nest or something. So we're gonna get that out of here. I don't want any of this stuff. See all that down there, guys? I don't want any of this stuff to end up inside the cylinders or worse. So actually, I don't know what would be worse, but I don't want any of this stuff in here. So I'm gonna start vacuuming out this and get rid of that intruder back there. Well, this was the lovely thing that was sitting back there, and I'm really glad it's out. Yeah, so that was hanging out back there. We cleaned up all of this. So now I'm pivoting, and we're gonna remove this first, the intake manifold, and then we'll do the injectors. So the first thing we're doing here is I'm removing this. This goes to what looks like the PVC valves back here, and it's a little oily, but no big deal. This here is probably a crankcase breather valve. Not quite sure, but this we're just gonna pinch and take off. I'm gonna undo these two to get the fuel rail crossover bit off, and just a few more bolts, and I think this hopefully will lift off. I will tell you shortly after I start undoing a few of these things, but this you just squeeze and pinch, pull off. Same with this. And then there's one back here that I'm just gonna undo, and then this will come right up. How hard can it be? Well, intake manifold is out. It really wasn't all that hard. We had two T30 bolts up top. Those are sitting up top. I took off the cross bar to the fuel rail. That was a 17 millimeter wrench. Came off right there on the driver's side, and on the passenger side came off right there. That removed the top of it, sitting right there, over the intake manifold. Now, I have not looked at this yet, so we are looking at this for the first time. Also, this is the bottom of the manifold. I have it upside down. Let's get a closer look and see what we're up against. Okay, so as you can see, here's the coolant that I saw. Apparently this crossover pipe here gets cracks in it. This all looks pretty gunked up. We can see in the valves, there are the valves right there. They all look pretty gunky. But you can tell there's been a coolant leak here for a while. You also got leaves down here. This looks like it would be an oil cooler, I'm assuming. And there's all the coolant down there. Processing. It looks like it's been going on for a while. We can look in there. Let me change my light source. There's the cylinders there. Here's the cylinders in that one. And this one. And this far one. Number 8. This is 6, 4, and those are open, so we gotta not drop anything in there. And it does look like there's a drop of antifreeze in there. I don't know if you guys can see it on the right side right there. But anyway, this is all pretty gunked up. I'm gonna vacuum this out, probably stuff it with some stuff, and I might pressurize the system to see where this leak is coming from. So anyway, here we are. So what I want to do now is figure out where this leak is coming from. We have this crossover, and this is supposedly an area that could leak. It's plastic. Let me get this out of here. But what I did was, this was the line, the coolant line that went to the passenger side of the throttle body underneath, and this comes from the overflow and on the driver's side. I've just put a connector in between, hose clamped them down, and I'm going to pressurize this and see where it's leaking from. This is also the water pump, and it could very well be leaking from here too. I mean, it's all connected. So the next step is to get a pressurizer, and let's pressurize this. I'm gonna try to clean up all the coolant so we can see what's gonna be fresh when it comes down. So yeah, this isn't pretty, but let's hope it works. I also want to point out that here's the front of the motor right here. As we go back, all the fluid, there's a lot right down in here that I'm soaking up now to pressurize the system. But here's the head gasket, and it doesn't look like anything's been coming out of the head gaskets. They do look good, but I do see quite a bit of wetness back here. It's not really focusing, but the only thing that runs back here is this coolant pipe, coolant line. The same one that, if we follow, comes all the way up. And it's this one right here that we have connected. So I don't know if there's like a little pinhole leak back here somewhere that's dribbling down into the back, and then also something up front like the water pump or this Y pipe. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully it all becomes evident. I'm just gonna clean this up so that anything new will become obvious. Using my shop rags was just not going fast enough, so I took out the Mighty Vac here, and I'm just sucking it up this way. That way I can get all the nooks and crannies out of here, and it just works so much better. As you can see, it just keeps sucking it up. So I'm gonna do this for a bit, get it all nice and dry, and then I got my pressurizer, and we're just gonna use that to see where the leak's coming from. Got it all set up here for the pressurizer. You do need the adapter here since we don't have a radiator cap. So this takes the place of that, and this acts as the radiator cap. Now that already came loose, so don't mind me. Need to make sure that's real tight. And let me just fidget with this, and then I'm gonna pressurize it, and we're gonna look back here to see where all the fluid is getting pushed out of. Got a very interesting, I don't know, something really interesting is happening here. So I have it sort of pressurized. Actually, it won't even hold pressure because I keep hearing air leaking out from here. Okay. My coolant is gone. There's nothing there. There used to be. It's not there anymore. Where did it go? It's not on the ground. It's not sitting in the valley. Where did it go? That is my thing right now. I'm thinking. I want to know where it went. So, if you have any ideas, post them in the comments below. I don't know where it went. Also in the valley, I found this. I don't know what it went to, but it was sitting in coolant. I don't know if it broke off something. I don't know if it is the reason I'm leaking. It's definitely a gasket. It's squishy. So we're gonna figure out where this goes too. What I want to do now is take off this Y piece. It looks like we're gonna have two maybe T30s down here holding this in, and I got another one. Yeah, that's not it. kind of have to go in from underneath. There it is, right there, guys. So we'll take that. I already got the hose clamp off this. We're gonna take the hose clamp off this, and it looks like this is one big piece. So let's do that. I figured out where the leak was coming from. So if you look at the bottom of this Y pipe that goes under the intake manifold, I noticed it was what I thought broken, and sure enough, these are the two rubber gaskets that are in there, and these plastic pieces were like pretty much welded to the side of the aluminum. So I still got to clean it up, suction it out, but they were stuck in there, and I had to use a screwdriver to unpry it out. I mean, it came off in pieces. I took them all out. Now I need to suction all this garbage out, but that's where the leak was. This whole time I thought maybe it was a crack in here somewhere, like hairline crack or something, but no, the whole thing just both ends just snapped right off. So I'm gonna get a new one of these. I broke another pipe up here, right here. I just put a little bit of RTV on it just to hold it, so that I could pressurize the system and figure out where this leak was. But yeah, I will be getting a new one of these. This just goes from the overflow on out to the back. So that should be an easy part to fix. And get a new one of these. New water pump, thermostat, and housing. We should be getting really close. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until I get all these parts in, this part of the project is done, and just in pending status. So I got 2 parts to, or actually 3, 4, oh geez, 4, water pump, Y pipe, tube, and Y pipe, water pump, tube, and thermostat. So hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And until then, I'll catch you guys next time, when I hopefully will then, what I started to do was take out the fuel injectors. So catch you guys next time.